Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
All right, welcome to G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room, Monday, June 20th, 2022. That's one of the best clips there is, Jim Moore with his playoffs.
Yep, definitely.
That's one of them that people are always going to be talking about. That one and that Dennis Green.
Yeah.
They are who we thought they are or were.
Let them off the hook.
Well, but no, welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is GSR Gonzo Sports Room. We're live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Joined by Tony Gonzo'S like usual. And the Lightning have Lightning stole. Well, I ain't gonna say stole, but they won a game tonight against the Avalanche. Make the series 2-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. I thought the Avalanche would get one game, but the Lightning would get at least one game. But I thought Avalanche would win tonight and Lightning would get the other one. But Lightning
had to win this one if they had a chance.
Yes. Yeah, if they lost this one, the series was definitely over.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2-1 now. I mean, if they can win the next one and tie it up 2-2, they're back in it, It's a 3-game series. So we'll see. Lightning's got a good team, but the only thing Colorado's got to worry about, they scored an awful lot of goals, and sometimes when you do that, sometimes you can dry up a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's why I thought the Avalanche would win this series, though, is because of their offense and they got a lot of speed, man. They're fast, but the Lightning were down. They were down 2-0 last series against the Rangers, and it looked like the Rangers was going to upset them, and they were able to battle back. So they're not going to go away. They're going to put up a fight. But I don't know. I didn't watch a whole lot of the game because I was watching Monday Night Raw. I was watching some of it, but what I watched of the game, it just seemed like Colorado didn't have that intensity that they had the first two games. I don't know if maybe they thought they had the series won already and didn't come prepared or what, but they didn't look like they played with the same intensity.
Yeah, that could be it. And sometimes traveling, I know Tampa Bay traveled also, but you're going back home. I know. So sometimes traveling can throw you off. I mean, you're traveling quite a bit away from Colorado to to Florida. So,
well, I know they say that like going to like Colorado and playing in that thin air can affect you. I wonder if you're used to that thin air, can it affect you going to like a different part of the country where the air is not thin like that? I've never really heard anybody talk about it, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could. I mean, if the thin air makes, you would think it wouldn't, because if you can breathe good in that thin air, you should be able to breathe even better with more air.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder though, like like I said before, that when you beat a team as bad as you beat them last time in the last game, you was up at 1.7-0, and you just trounce them like that. I'm not saying you get a big head or something, but your confidence goes way up, and maybe they thought, like you said, maybe they thought they had the series. That could be a possibility.
And you can't take the credit away from Tampa Bay either. They played a better game than what they played the first two games. I'm watching some of the highlights now. They took advantage of their power plays when they had them. I mean, they played a lot better game. Do they do like the NBA is going to be? Do they take 2 days off in between each game?
At least be one day. See. Today's Monday. Yeah, they probably won't play again till I'm sure at least Wednesday, but probably Thursday.
Probably Thursday.
They played Saturday.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, no,
They played Saturday, right? Yeah,
Saturday. They played again Monday, so probably Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, that's not as bad. I hate like the NBA finals. They take 2 days in between each game. So if you play on Monday, you don't play again until Thursday, and I don't know, it just drags it out too long.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year when this is where sports get slow down some.
I predicted Colorado in 5, so we'll see.
When the series started, I said Colorado in 7. But then I was feeling I didn't know how to feel about that pick after they got up 2-0 because I mean, well, they're showing that Tampa Bay's 8-1 at home in the playoffs this year and 5-6 on the road. So they haven't played well on the road in the playoffs. So
I mean, they've got to win this game at home and hope they can still win on the road.
yeah, because you're going to they're going to have to win one on the at least one game on the road to win the series.
Yep.
What am I? I don't know where I'm trying to share this real quick, and I'm all lost. But no, but yeah, I think the Avalanche will end up winning the series. I'm gonna stay with my in 7 pick just because I don't like changing my picks. But I really don't see it going 7. Oh, Rob Glover, Bulletproof Posse in here. Shout out G.S.R. Looking forward to seeing y'all again. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing the Bulletproof Posse again. I know Dad's a big fan.
Yep.
We were talking about you guys a lot earlier with Marcus Fine.
Yes, we did.
And speaking of that, if you missed that conversation we had with the wrestling super fan Marcus Fine earlier this evening, go check that out on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch pages. It was I felt like it was a great conversation. Definitely looking forward to having Marcus back on.
Yeah, he's going to be on in a more regular basis, talking about independent wrestling and especially shows he goes to in the near future. So we worked out something with him. So we'll be announcing that later on. But I'm excited about that. Anytime to be able to talk to Marcus, whether it's at a show that we go to or will be on here. It's always interesting and fun. So.
And it was fun talking to him, and I couldn't believe that they'd already went to 30 shows this year.
I know, and he went to 30 last year, and he's already met 30, and his record is 62, which he said he's not necessarily trying to beat the record, but they were on the pace to
Yeah, they're on pace to beat it.
Yeah.
Halfway through the year, and they're basically halfway there. So,
yep.
That's a lot of shows, 60 something shows.
And that's just not local shows right by there, real close to the house. You're talking about traveling, in most cases 30, 50, 60 miles, and some even more, because I know he's talking about some Kentucky shows. They go to Illinois shows. Hopefully in the future, maybe we can get out of state and do something. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I am too. Man, because I think there's times I think our schedule is like we're going to a lot of shows and we go do usually 3 or 4 a month. But then when you hear like what he's been to, it's like we went to maybe about half of what they've been to so far.
Since January, probably we've done probably about 15.
Yeah, and would have been 17 if I wouldn't have been sick.
Yeah, so we've probably done probably 15, maybe more. We'd have to count them up, but along that, probably half of what they've done.
Yeah. But there's a lot of weekends some weekends they go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
A lot of times they stay in a hotel, they find a hotel stay, and then go and they've got some regular places. They like to go WCWO quite a bit, and of course, they go to the show in War Pro in Danville. They go to that to most of theirs.
Kokomo,
Kokomo a lot.
ACW.
They also enjoy Summit Pro. They go. I don't think they're gonna be able to make the next one because they've got plans. I think that was one of them that's going out of town for to Illinois. But they got some regulars that they go to, and then try to spread it out some.
You're going too fast for me. Here we go. I know it's an NHL chat. Go Red Wings, but I had to show love. No, we appreciate you showing love. Oh, I saw was stoked to be supported by Mr. Fine. He was a great guest. I love seeing him at every promotion I've worked this year. He's a goat. Yeah, that's what's crazy. You see him everywhere.
Yep.
Be watching for the Bulletproof Posse in Tennessee.
Cool.
It said the Bulletproof Posse would love to invade WCW next.
I would love to see that.
Oh yeah, with some of the talent they have there, and you add them guys, you can do some.
Or if not WCWO, maybe DCCW.
Yep.
One of those or both. Be
The
great.
Bulletproof Posse will be at AACW the 16th. Yeah, we're checking. We're seeing how our schedule works out. We're hoping to be there on the 16th as well.
Yep.
But no, I think we both agree the Avalanche are going to win the series. But
we say that, but like I said, it could be like if Lightning could win the next one, then it becomes a 3-game series. So you never know. But sports things can turn really fast. But I think, in my opinion, I personally think Avalanche is a better team. But
yeah, I do too.
Better team they'll always win.
We're at GICW, on the 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple shows on the 2nd, but we already had plans. And I guess there's one on. They say it was on the 4th or on the 3rd.
Yeah, there's one on the 4th, July 4th.
Yeah, a free one, right?
Yep, that's one in Sheridan, I believe. I think that's Omen's group.
Yeah, I think Fine said Omen and Wright. We're putting it on or something.
In Sheridan. And that's going to be good. Anything that Omen's involved in, I would have great confidence in.
Oh yeah.
To be solid and to be strong. So
yeah, I still don't understand. I still don't understand how Omen didn't or hasn't been in a big company yet. I mean, and if not as a wrestler, as a trainer, I mean,
and I think he's got a pretty good mind, understands the business also. So.
All right, another thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you've seen it, but Chase Claypool came out and said he's a top 3 receiver in the NFL. A lot of people have been roasting him online about it. A lot of people say they might be the 3rd best receiver on his team.
I was thinking that myself. I wasn't going to say that because I don't want. I think that could be.
Yeah. He might not even be the best on his team, even though Juju left, but that Washington's pretty good still.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the best on his team.
But there's no. I can't believe he said that because there's no way he. I mean, I guess you're going to be confident and say that, but there's no way he can believe that. I would hope because he's not near. I don't even know if he's top 10. No. I don't know if he's a top 10 receiver in the league, let alone top 3.
Make a statement you're top 3 or top 5 or something like that. That's crazy. Now, if you come out and say, "Hey, I'm one of the best receivers in the league,"
especially when he hasn't had a breakout season yet. I mean, and he dropped quite a few balls last year. He hasn't had that breakout season to be proclaiming that you're that type of player. I think he has the ability to be a real good player if he can shore up his catching ability a little bit, shore the hands up a little bit, and then develop. I think he needs to. He's one of them guys that uses his size a lot. I think he needs to develop his routes a little better. And I think he could be pretty good, but like I said, I don't even think he's a top 10 receiver right now, let alone top 3.
I don't think so either.
I mean, because Hopkins is ahead of him. Cooper Kupp's. I mean, Hopkins and Cooper Kupp are right up there as top 2, 3.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you think? Let's look at it from this viewpoint. The Colts receiving corps up to this point has not been real strong. Do you think he's better than the Colts? Who the Colts number one is right now?
I think him and Pittman are probably pretty close.
Yeah,
I would say.
I don't know that I could rate Claypool over Pittman.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think they're real close. I think if you look, I haven't looked up their stats, but if you look up their stats, they're probably pretty comparable. I would say.
And,
Because Pittman had a pretty solid season last year.
The bad thing about Pittman, he was getting double and double teamed and triple teamed because the Colts was lacking at the receiver position.
Yeah, because Hilton was hurt, so they didn't have their guy that was supposed to be their number one guy.
Did Hilton ever make a decision on what he's doing?
I haven't heard anything. As far as I know, he still isn't on the roster. I don't know what the Colts are thinking at wide receiver. I really don't. I don't understand why why they didn't make any kind of move at wide receiver. I know Frank Reich came out and said that that the progression of the receivers has been great. Really hyping up the receivers. Hopefully that's the case. But
I think also right. I seen he come out and said some things about Hines, and he never made the statement that Hines was going to be a receiver, but he made the statement that Hines was going to be used a lot more, and this year. So I'm wondering if they're not going to use him in routes as a receiver, or go to him more.
Yeah, I would say I would line him up as a receiver more because he has good hands, and if he gets the ball in open space, he can make people miss.
The other thing that made me think that too was when the Colts went out and picked up Lindsey.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering what they're.
So where's Marlon Mack at? Did we send? Did we send him somewhere?
He went somewhere, but I can't remember where it went.
The Lindsey was a good pickup to have as a backup or a guy that can give Taylor a little bit of a rest. But hopefully, Wright don't get into that thing where he wants to run Taylor like 5 or 6 plays straight, and he'll be gaining yards and then take him out for 2 or 3 series. I still don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either. And the thing about Taylor too, I think he's a pretty adequate receiver himself. I think he can catch the ball, and he's another one that I would like for him to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield because he's so hard to bring down.
Yeah. I think he's not a bad receiver, and running wise, he's a top 2 running back in the league right now. I mean, him and Derrick Henry are probably the top 2, I would say.
A lot of people are surprised that Taylor turned out like he has. Top two or three running backs in the league. And I'm not going to say he was going to be the top 2 or 3. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but that we talked before the draft, a couple years ago, that I was really one of the Colts to get.
Oh yeah,
Taylor.
we were ecstatic when they got Taylor because we'd watch them play. We watch a lot of Big Ten.
I watched a lot of Taylor play, and I thought he was in my opinion, I thought he was the best back in the draft, and it was fools that was going to let him go into the second round, and when they got him, when they got Pittman and Taylor in that draft, I thought the Colts won big time.
Yeah,
and I think Pittman would be even further along if he had some help.
Yeah, and I hate to say it. I mean, look at the 2 quarterbacks he's had. I didn't think Wentz played that bad last year. Rivers didn't play terrible, but it wasn't like Rivers was at his best when he was in Indy. You know what I mean? We should have won that playoff game anyway. But I think Pittman with a little bit better quarterback is even going to be better. Problem is, I don't know if Matt Ryan's that answer or not. I think he still has a couple of years left in him, and because I've watched some of his games last year when he played with the Falcons. It wasn't like it was because he was playing terrible. It was just they'd find ways to lose games.
There's one thing with him, and let's see if you agree with me. And this is I've never was a big Rivers fan, so that may be unfair for me to say this, but compared to Rivers, and definitely compared to last year's quarterback, what was his name again?
Wentz.
I think that it's an upgrade as far as thinking ability, decision making. I think it's upgraded and at that level.
Yeah, I could agree with you.
Because I thought Rivers made some bad choices. Man, I'm talking about before he even got. Again, I was never a Rivers fan.
Yeah.
And I thought he threw high passes. I thought he threw passes that he didn't need to throw.
I mean, you have to remember, Matt Ryan's a former league MVP, so he wasn't a slouch.
Yep.
And if you look at his numbers, he was still putting up decent numbers. He was just on a bad Atlanta Falcons team, and they'd find a way to lose. They would find a way to lose close games as well. So, and he's going to have one of the better offensive lines that he's been behind as well, and he's going to have a good running game.
Yep, that's going to be.
I mean, he don't have to be that superstar. He just has to be basically a game manager. Don't turn the ball over, but be able to make some plays. And I mean, he's shown he has a decent arm.
That's going to be the key, though, is the offensive line plays at their capabilities.
Yeah, because at the end of last season, that's what was one of our big problems. It wasn't all Wentz.
It wasn't all Wentz's fault. Our last couple, a lot of people blame Wentz for the last few games of the season when our offensive line underperformed drastically.
And the defense didn't play well the last couple of games either.
No, it was a team loss. It was teams losses. I mean, it was a combination.
But actually, but Claypool saying he's a top 3 receiver, that's ridiculous.
I think so.
But what I thought we would do, which we already kind of talked about the Colts, we'll just start in that division, kind of look at the divisions and who we think are going to be the winners. In AFC South, I think the Colts are going to win the division. I am partial because I'm a big Colts fan, but I don't think Tennessee's really gotten better. I don't trust Tannehill a lot. Jacksonville is a question mark for me because I'm not sure what Trevor Lawrence is. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a good quarterback. I was on the Trevor Lawrence train. He didn't look good last year, but how much was that dealing with the Urban Meyer thing? And then you get another coach. You didn't have no weapons. They brought him in some weapons. I think they improved that offensive line. So I think Jacksonville will be better, but I think it's between the Colts and Tennessee, and I like the Colts. With that defense, we added Stephon Gilmore to the defense. We already had a strong defense. One thing that does worry me was I know Darius Leonard had to have some kind of little surgery or something done. And that kind of worries me because that dude's special on defense.
We just lost a player to retirement too.
Yeah, Willis.
Yep,
I think it was.
Yep, that was kind of a surprise.
They're going to be a preacher or something like that.
Going to be involved in the ministry.
Yeah, because he was pretty young.
Pretty young and played pretty well, really.
Yeah. But no, so I like the Colts in the AFC South. I'd probably go with Tennessee at second, Jags at third, and Houston in fourth.
Yeah, Houston's
they're a big mess.
Yep.
And then in the AFC West, that division's crazy because I mean there's a scenario where all 4 of them teams can make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think with the fact that who Kansas City has at the quarterback position, you got to give them a slight edge, maybe, but a very slight edge.
See, I like the Chargers to win it, and I agree. I understand what you're saying because of Mahomes, but I think Herbert's going to be even better than what he's been. They improved their defense by getting Khalil Mack. They got some good receivers, so I think they improved their team. But that coach is what scares me because he gets so damn aggressive. Hell, he cost him being in the playoffs last year. Gets too aggressive with some of the analytics, and I think I'm gonna go Chargers, Chiefs, and then man, I don't know who I like. I don't know who I like better, the Raiders or Broncos. That's a tough division.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked. The Raiders got a lot of talent. I mean, now whether they can put it all together or not, they might be as talented as any of those teams, talent-wise.
Yeah, Damien, that's what the one thing that I am worried about with Matt Ryan is if he can stay healthy. But the Colts eventually are going to have to get a quarterback. I mean, you keep getting these older guys. They're not going. I mean, you're eventually going to have to either try one of the young guys you've had and that you're trying to develop, or go get somebody. Because
Well, but they ain't had any luck with that. The two young guys that they went out and got were bust, evidently.
I mean, yeah, they must not trust them because they're not. I mean, because I heard because they signed a. Did they end up signing Foles?
I believe so.
Yeah, I was gonna say the things they signed. Yeah, they signed Foles as a backup, so they must not trust their younger guys if you're going to sign him.
Well, you got the guy from Texas. I assume he's still on the roster, but
Damon has Broncos, Chargers. He has Chiefs last. I don't know if they'll fall back to. It's going to be interesting because a lot of people think Tyreek Hill leaving Kansas City is really going to hurt them, but they did. I mean, they got Schuster and they picked up some other guys. You still have Kelsey, so that's still going to help the receivers get open because of having Kelsey, because they're going to put so much attention on that tight end. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Broncos probably last, just because yes, they improved at quarterback, but how much they were 9-8 last year, barely missed the playoffs. How many games is that going to improve you with that quarterback?
I
mean,
would. Yeah, I agree. I would go with Kansas City first, barely, and then I think I would go with the Raiders, and then San Diego, and then Denver.
oh, you even got the Raiders over the Chargers.
I think they've picked up a lot of talent. I really do.
I think they're going to be good. But one thing with them is how's that Josh Daniels going to do his second time as a head coach?
Well,
I mean, he struggled in Denver.
he did struggle in Denver, and but the dude, he's. I don't know. It's different than being a coordinator and being a head coach. So we'll see. He's a hell of a coordinator. You know, you can't take that away from him. Of course, we have a bad taste in the mouth about Daniels anyway, the way he did the Colts. So.
Yeah.
So.
And I thought it worked out pretty good, but Reich has me on the fence right now with some of the decisions he makes.
He can be over aggressive sometimes,
and then gets passive in situations that you think he would be aggressive.
Yeah,
that's what don't make no sense. I can understand being aggressive, but some of the times he does it and then decides not to do it is what's kind of strange about it. Oh, come on. Okay, then you have the AFC East. Let's do AFC East. Buffalo, the Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets. I think Buffalo's going to win that division.
I agree with that. Do you think the quarterback New England's got is the real deal?
Man, I don't know yet. It's
he showed some signs.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't been bad, but I don't know if but he hasn't been overly stood out either.
But for a new quarterback, he did pretty well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, Damon. We were pretty sure that they did. Raiders always had talent. They just David don't like Derek Carr. Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins, both them quarterbacks, to me get raw deals. People always talk about how bad them two are, and to me, they're two of the better quarterbacks in the league. Hey, if the Colts would have went and got Kirk Cousins from Minnesota, I'd been happy as hell.
I'd been happy if the Colts got Carr. So
yeah, I was happy with either one. I would have been happy if they would have. Well, only thing that worries me about Jimmy Garoppolo is he just had that surgery. But I mean, hell, I think Garoppolo gets a raw deal as well.
This is off topic a little bit. It's still NFL. Did Julio Jones ever sign with anybody? Does everybody think he's done?
I don't think he's ever signed with anybody.
Well, I'm shocked that if the Colts thought he had anything at all left, that they would sign him. Wouldn't you think? Because it wouldn't be for it wouldn't be for a lot of money.
No, and you're putting him with a quarterback that he has a connection with.
Yeah.
I know he didn't have very good last year in Tennessee and was hurt most of the season. Maybe there's people just afraid of that, I guess.
Well, I understand, but how could look at the Colts and the injuries they've had at the receiver position.
Yeah, and you have salary cap room.
Yeah.
I think I saw we still have like 10 million
He
salary
wouldn't
cap
be.
or something.
I couldn't see him getting more.
No, you could get him on some kind of vet minimum and give him and put incentives in there.
Even if it's 2 or 3 million a year, I don't see him. There's not people beating down the door for him, so it's not going to be $7 or $8 million a year. One thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. You could probably give him vet minimum and then make the contract more incentive based. And then,
Like,
you know what I mean? Kind of like a prove it year, kind of.
so many games, so many catches, touchdowns. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Bills winning it. Probably gonna go Patriots second, Jets third, and the Dolphins last.
Well, some people are high on Miami, but I'm not high on that quarterback.
That's why I got Dolphins last. I think they put weapons around them now, but I just don't. I was never a big Tua fan coming out of college, and I'm still not. To me, he sees the field kind of slow, and if a receiver's not wide open like you get in college, he hesitates a little bit, and he don't want to throw the ball down the field at all. He wants to throw it 5 or 6 yards. And in the NFL, you got to be able to throw the ball. And these teams, when they know you're not a threat to throw the ball deep, they're going to stack the box on you, and that's going to affect your running game.
Well, I agree. I'm not sold on Miami's quarterback by a long shot, but I'm not on the Jets either. On the Jets quarterback, so that's a tough. To me, I would go with Buffalo, New England.
Yeah.
Miami, and I'd go with the Jets.
Wilson was playing better toward the end of the season, though. The Jets was playing better toward the season with Wilson when he came back from that injury, and they had a good draft. I think they've improved that offensive line. That's why I have the Jets. I like that. I think they have a good coach. I like that coach they have, Saleh. I think he's a good coach. So I'm hoping he gets them turned around. I know a lot of people have the Jets. Some people had the Jets over the Bills, which I think is ridiculous, but I got the Jets at 3. I just don't with the Dolphins. I just don't trust I don't trust Tua. I don't think Tyreek Hill is a good fit, especially with Tua as your quarterback. Because Tyreek, yeah, he's fast and he's great, but he's not a technical route runner. And if you're only going to throw the ball 5, 6, 10 yards down the field, you're going to have some good route runners to be able to get open.
Yep.
He's not going to be able to. And where else is Tyreek Hill good at? When the play breaks down.
Yep.
Well, he just left a quarterback that's one of the best in the league when the play breaks down. Tua is not a play breaks down guy. If things ain't on schedule, the play's usually over.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Tua at all.
So I definitely could. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the Tyreek Hill pickup myself. AFC North. Oh, go ahead.
You said that some people are picking the Jets over Buffalo. I would think Buffalo would have to be one of the, in my opinion, of course, I want the Colts to win it all, but I would think Buffalo would have to be one of the favorites of the FC.
Oh yeah,
make the Super Bowl. When you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have them as one of the favorites to make the Super Bowl. I mean, they actually blew that game that they lost in the playoffs with that defense, letting that guy get behind them. So I mean, they were right there beating Kansas City, and who knows what would have happened if they went and played Cincinnati. I mean, so yeah, I think Buffalo's definitely one of the favorites to win it all, especially coming out of the AFC.
I would think so.
But yeah, in the AFC North, you got the Bengals, the Browns, the Ravens. And of course, I'm going to forget Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you got and Bengals, of course. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think they upgraded their team.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bengals. Then I'll probably go with Baltimore. Then Pittsburgh. And then the Browns.
Who's Pittsburgh's quarterback?
I think it's going to be Trubisky.
Pittsburgh and Browns are going to be.
And Trubisky, I think Trubisky is going to do decent there in Pittsburgh. I think a lot of Trubisky's problem was Matt Nagy with the Bears. But you know how I feel about Matt Nagy. I don't
like Nagy either.
No, I think that was a lot. I think that had something to do with Trubisky. Because if you look, Trubisky had some good numbers the one year, and then it was like they changed their offense for some reason.
Who do you think the Browns quarterback's going to be?
See, from what a lot of people think they're going to end up keeping Baker, that they haven't traded him because of that. But from what I've been reading, I've seen statements where the Browns have said that Baker's not their backup plan. So basically, from if that's true, that means they're going to start Jacoby Brissett if Watson's suspended, because that's the other guy they have.
Yeah.
They have Brissett on the roster. I heard today that the Browns offered to pay half of Baker's salary. So to me, that says that a lot of teams aren't interested in Baker. So they're trying to, but other people take it as that they haven't got rid of Baker because they put that if Watson ain't playing, they're going to use Baker because he's still under contract. My question was, well, if you're Baker Mayfield, do you play? I think you play, because if he plays this year, say if the Browns Watson gets suspended, he starts for the Browns, and he goes out and plays good.
Yep.
He's going to have all the leverage going into the next season as a free agent.
Yeah.
And be able to sign a big contract. Where if you just sit out with what people saw the last time you played, you're not going to get a big payday. He's going to get probably some more like a prove it deal. You know what I mean? But if he can play a season, prove himself. But from what I read, the Browns plan on using Brissett.
Well, it's weird.
I don't know if Deshaun Watson will ever play again in the NFL.
No, I seen an interview a while back after this thing happened where they signed Watson, and what Baker thought. And Baker thought, I seen an interview with him. He thought he was going to be a Colt at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the Colts and they're going to pay half his contract.
You see, before they weren't offering that. Now they just started that. But yeah, I mean, but now the Colts already have Foles in there as well.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up in Carolina for the Panthers. That's what I think. I think he's going to end up there.
Well, I'll go with Cleveland last place, and I'll take Pittsburgh over them. Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's the reason I take the Browns last, is because their quarterback situation is so in flux. You don't know who they're going to have.
Yep.
I think Pittsburgh is usually solid. That Tomlin always has them ready. They don't have losing seasons usually. Ravens, I mean, still got a lot. Depends on what happens with Jackson and if he gets a contract or decides to sit out. I think he's going to play.
I think he's going to play.
And I just don't know if they have enough left on defense. And the Bengals, I mean, last time I saw them play, they were in the Super Bowl, and they haven't done anything to make me think that they're not going to be better.
Well, they tried to strengthen the offensive line, and they went out and tried to take care of the weaknesses. So we'll see.
Yeah, because hell, you got to remember, he got sacked 9 times in a playoff game, and they still won. I don't know how you get sacked 9 times and still win a playoff game, but the Bengals accomplished it.
How many times he got sacked during the year and still had the winning record that they had?
Yeah. Oh, if they don't get an offensive line to protect him, he can end up like Andrew Luck.
Yep.
Because, I mean, you know what I mean? Because hell, he was getting. I mean, that's kind of what it looked like was when Andrew Luck first got to Indianapolis. That dude was. I don't know how Joe Burrow got up after some of those hits. He took some big hits. Then let's see, was that all the AFC? East, West, North, yep. NFC East. Of course, that's the division everybody talks about because everybody wants to talk about the Cowboys. But you got the Cowboys, the Giants, Green Bay, and Minnesota.
What? Chris, you're off.
Yeah, I am off.
Yeah, you got Dallas.
Yes.
You got Dallas. You got the Philadelphia. You got the Giants and the Washington Commanders.
Yes. I don't know where I was thinking of the.
You had me out in left field there for a minute. You started to go with the Bears in that division.
Yeah, I was going with the NFC North.
Yep.
Okay. East. I actually like the Commanders, and it's weird. I'm going to say that because they have Wentz as their quarterback. Uh, I'm not sold on that Eagles quarterback yet. The Cowboys, to me, have gotten worse. They've lost some guys on defense, lost Amari Cooper on offense, who was supposed to be their savior.
Yeah.
I mean, remember a couple of years ago when Cooper set out, it was the end of the world because Dak didn't have his guy. That's why Dak was struggling. And then now you get rid of him.
Yeah, I didn't understand that myself.
Well, because CD Lamb's a good receiver, but I don't think he's ready to be the number. I don't think he was ready to be the number one receiver, especially if you don't have somebody else on the other side the defense has to worry about. So I think I lean toward the Commanders. The Giants are strange because I mean, they got a new coach. What are they going to do? It looks like they're trying to build an offensive line to help Daniel Jones. I think Jones has some talent and think he could be a good quarterback. But I mean, there was times last year he was getting killed. I mean, he didn't have time to hand the ball off. So I'm probably going to go Washington, Eagles, Cowboys, and then the Giants.
I think I'm gonna go Dallas, Commanders, Eagles, and Giants. Actually, I'll switch that. I'm gonna go with the Giants over the Eagles because I am not sold on the Eagles quarterback either.
He said, "Damn it! I wish Bears was in the NFC least. We would be winning the division every year." Oh yeah, that NFC East is usually always the worst division. I don't know how them teams do it, but they'll all finish 8-8, 8-9.
I have for the last few years.
And every year the Cowboy fans always talk about how they're going to win the Super Bowl, and it's like you can't even win the worst division in football. How are you going to win the Super Bowl? But NFC North was the division I was trying to go to earlier.
Yeah.
With the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. I'm still going to have the Packers at number one in that division. I know I know the Packers lost their Devontae. They really haven't brought in no receivers to really replace him. But they have Aaron Rodgers, and he's struggled in the postseason the last couple of years, but in the regular season, he's had an NFC Championship game the last couple of years. And I think he's going to have another good year. The Vikings, I like the Vikings too. We've got a new head coach. So I think the Vikings will be good. So I'm probably going to go Packers, Vikings, Bears. And now I already lost Lions.
I would agree with that.
Yep. I think that's where I'm gonna go. Even though I do think the Lions are going to be better. I know a lot of people don't like that Campbell. I think that Campbell's has done a pretty good job so far trying to build that team. He wasn't going to come in there and turn it around in 1 year. It's going to take you got to give him 2 or 3 seasons. I expect them to look better this season. But the Giants messed up when they fired Caldwell. You fired Caldwell. He was building a culture and a team, and he had a winning record, and you fire him. And ever since then, you've had a losing record.
I've always liked Caldwell. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I've always been surprised he hadn't got a head coaching job somewhere else.
I think it's people don't think he's fiery enough.
All right, NFC West got the Arizona Cardinals, the Seahawks,
Rams, San Francisco.
Yeah, Rams in San Francisco. I'll say Rams at number one. I think I'd put San Francisco at 2, probably Arizona at 3, and the Seahawks at 4. Seahawks haven't got a quarterback. Looks like they're going to go with Drew Lock.
Yep. I don't understand that.
I don't understand that.
Why wouldn't they go after Baker?
I don't understand why they wouldn't go after somebody else. And then Arizona, they're still in flood. Hopkins is going to miss, I think, 6 games, isn't it?
I think
it's like 6 games for that PED violation. Murray, he's still arguing about the contract and stuff, so who knows what's going on there. And plus Murray, to me, Murray hasn't really he hasn't proved that he's a top level quarterback in the NFL. Don't get me wrong, he has some moments, but then there's other times he looks like he's lost. It looks like he don't want to be there. So to me, I still think, and I think Arizona is kind of thinking that too, that they're not sold on if he's the franchise guy or not.
Possible.
And that coach is not very. I don't know about that coach either. That coach he make. I didn't think he should have got hired when he did. I mean, he just got fired from a college job, but because I watched some of the games because Austin is my son's a big Cardinals fan, so he comes over and we watch them sometimes when they're at the same time as Colts, and some of the decisions he makes as a coach, I know it drives Austin crazy. See, Damien says Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, Seahawks. That's basically what we had.
Yep.
Packer. He has the Lions finishing second. Though. He has Packers, Lions, Bears, Vikings. I think Vikings are going to be pretty good this year. I think it's going to be interesting seeing Kirk Cousins with more of an offensive minded coach than Zimmer, because Zimmer was all about defense.
And at one time their defense was good, but then it got worse as it went on.
Yes. And then what was the NFC South is all we have left, right?
Yep.
Let's see. South is Falcons, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. Why am I forgetting a team? Falcons, Tampa Bay,
Carolina.
Yep. Tampa Bay at 1. Oh man, I'd probably go Tampa Bay, Saints.
Who's going to be the Saints quarterback?
Winston.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. So I go Saints. Then I'd probably go. Between the Falcons and the Panthers, I don't know. Either one of them teams you can put at 3 or 4. I'd probably go with.
I got to go Carolina over the Falcons.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think I go Panthers. But Panthers scare me because Sam Darnold just hasn't progressed at all, really. I don't think.
He hasn't.
I think that's why they really want Baker. And I'm kind of. What the hell? Loud banging noise outside. You never know what's going on in this neighborhood. But
there's gunshots all the time in your neighborhood.
Live in the wild, wild west over here. But no, I think, I'd put Panthers and then Falcons. I'm excited about the NFL season coming up. I'm ready to watch some football.
I am too.
Don't get me wrong, I love baseball season, but I'm ready. I'll be honest, I'm ready for baseball playoffs. That's what's real fun to watch.
Well, baseball. If you was going to pick a team right now, who would you pick to win it?
Right now, I hate to say it, but I'd pick the Yankees because their pitching staff. They have a team ERA. I think under 3.
But I don't disagree with you, but
they have a team ERA of 2.86, and they're hitting 249 as a team, which is pretty good this season because the league average is about 235. But the reason I say them is because they're missing Aroldis Chapman, they're missing one of the other relievers, and they've still been able to keep this pace even with them injuries. So if they can stay healthy, I think they're going to be tough.
I'm gonna pick the Dodgers.
I think I was gonna say out of the National League, I think the Dodgers. People better not sleep on the New York Mets.
No, can't sleep on the Mets. And I'll tell you another team that's capable of getting hot and are dangerous is the Padres.
Yeah, Padres. And in the American League, the Rays are a team that can get hot.
And so people know I'm not a Dodgers fan. I picked Dodgers, but I'm not a Dodgers. I'm a Reds fan, and we're losers. So, but my wife is a Dodgers fan, and I see a lot of the Dodgers. We watch quite a few games, late night games, and I watch quite a bit. Matter of fact, I got the Padres and Diamondbacks on now. I watch quite a bit.
Padres still winning?
Yeah, they're up 4-1.
Okay, that was one of my picks of the day. So The Angels were getting beat, and I have the Angels over the Orioles or the Royals. I mean, not Orioles.
I like to watch the Padres because they're an offensive team, so I don't mind watching them. If my wife's Dodgers ain't playing, I'll watch them, and if the Reds ain't on, I'll watch Diego.
The but the batting averages for teams this year are down, Dad. Like
Yep.
Most teams are averaging like 235, 240. You don't see many teams hitting over 250 as a team. And like pitching, and you have some pitching staffs like I said, the Yankees have a team ERA under three. That's
Good.
you don't usually hear that.
No.
That's why a lot of people's been complaining about baseballs. I just think a lot of it is nobody swings for just contact anymore. That's why the batting averages are down. It's all about launch angle and trying to hit home runs. So it's either basically a home run or a strikeout mentality, and that's why one reason why batting averages are a lot lower than what they used to be.
Well, stolen bases are. I mean, look at. I guarantee
almost a thing of the past.
I've not done that look, but if you go back 20 years and look how many bases were being stolen, I guarantee you there's a lot more being stolen 20 years ago than what's being stolen now.
Oh yeah, what's the same thing with bunts?
Yeah, I don't understand.
You don't see sacrifice bunts at all hardly anymore. It's all home runs, and as soon as the pitcher's getting ready to face the lineup for the third time, let's take them out. Which that drives me crazy because how many games have you? Well, you watched the Reds games. How many games have the Reds been winning, and they'll take the starter out in the sixth inning and only thrown 80 pitches.
Yep.
And then our bullpen comes in and we lose.
First thing we do is walk the first two batters.
Yeah. David Bell needs to go. I think that general manager needs to go as well. I think his name's Crawl. He needs out of there.
I'll be honest with you, I think the ownership needs to go. I don't think the ownership wants to win.
No, I don't understand it. How do you lose everybody that we had on the team last year? I understand we couldn't keep everybody, but you're telling me you had to get rid of all the pitching? Don't get me wrong, our starting pitching starting to pitch a lot better, but our bullpen still wasn't very good. But what? And not just that, you gave up a guy that played at MVP level in Castellanos, which I figured they weren't going to keep. But why you give up Winker?
You give up two All-Stars.
Yeah.
Winker's an All-Star.
Yeah.
You give up both your All-Stars. So if something happened this year and our second baseman, which he's been hurt, so he's probably not going to, but let's say he became an All-Star player this year, that mean we're going to let him go?
Yeah, I'm glad he's back, though. But yeah, I love watching India play. I like how he plays the game.
I'm worried he's going to have injury problems because of the way he plays. He plays 180%. I mean, he's diving around and
have you noticed he's put on a little bit of weight? He put on a little bit of weight since last year. He's a little thicker.
Well, he probably did that to try to.
Yeah, try to help stay a little healthier.
He was one of the best second basemen in the league last
year. Yeah. That's another thing that's hurt the Reds too is injuries this year. I mean, I do gotta admit that, but our team, we got rid of too much of our team. If you're gonna get rid of them, that's one thing, but at least try to replace some people.
Well, think about it, Chris. I mean, we got off to a 1-22 start. In the first 23 games we went 11-12. What would our record be right now?
We'd be in pretty good shape.
We'd be in probably maybe second or third place. And
let me see what the Reds record. Oh, they didn't play today, but I got them from where they played. Let's see. As of on Friday, they were 23-40.
23-40. So let's take 10 losses off there and add 10 wins.
Yeah. So you're about 500.
About 500. So what's leading the division right now?
See the Brewers.
How far over 500 are they?
Let me see. Brewers and Cardinals are tied at 38-30. So we'd be right there within 6, 7 games.
At least maybe 5 or 6. Yeah. So I mean, Yeah, that's what I mean. You just can't get off to a damn 1-22 start.
Yeah, because we'd be right there. Because the Cubs are 25-41. So, well, actually, Cubs are 20. We're worse than that now. Because, like I said, that was as of Friday. For well, the Cubs record as of today was 25-41 going into today, and they lost again.
Okay.
Brewers beat the Cardinals, so the Cardinals are 39-30. So yeah, we would be right there with the division if you just don't get off to a terrible start like that.
I give the Cardinals a lot of credit, man. They can lose players, and they always. I mean, not saying they're the best team in the league, but they stay up there.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay seems to be pretty good at that too.
But recently, yeah.
They've been, I mean, they're pest. Uh, all right. Before we get out here, I did want to talk a little bit of Indiana Fever. Fever got a big win last night or yesterday, I should say. They defeated the defending WNBA champions, the Chicago Sky, 89-87 to get their fifth win in the season. They're 5-13 on the season. They only won 6 games last year, so about halfway through the season, and they're one win away from matching what they done last year. So they're playing a little bit better. They have a young team, but they were led by Nelissa Smith with 26 points, 11 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell added 9 assists to lead the team and 13 points. But like I said, they were down 13 at halftime and scored 35 points in the third quarter, which was a record for them to get the lead, and was able to hold on and win by 2. A big win for a young team because, like I said, they start 3 or 4 rookies.
Yeah, if you start that many rookies, that's rough.
Because, like I said, they fired their head coach a few weeks ago, brought in, hired one of the assistants as an interim. Then they waived a couple players right after that. That's one thing, though, like you mentioned with the Reds, like the ownership don't even seem like they don't try to win. It's one thing with the Indiana Fever; they're trying to do what they can do to try to get back to winning.
But
Because the Indiana Fever there for a long time was one of the better teams in the WNBA.
but Chris, let me ask you this: you start 3 rookies, 2 or 3 rookies, and you fire your head coach that early. Well, that's a rough position as a head coach to have to start
Oh
rookies.
yeah,
I'm not saying them rookies ain't talented, but how many teams start 2 or 3 rookies on their?
oh yeah.
That's
And
a
even
rough,
if you don't start them, depend on them 2 or 3 rookies like a lot.
that,
And I mean, they
that's rough.
do.
That's rough for a head coach, man.
Yeah,
And
I
I
gotta say
mean, there
they
may
got
be
off
not.
to like a 2-7, a 2-8, 2-7, 2-8 start, and they fired her.
I mean, there may be other factors, that we don't know
Yeah,
about. But still, that seems awful. That seems awful rough. I mean, here's the Reds. He's got a manager who ain't had a winning season, and went 1-22, and they didn't fire him.
yeah,
But then again, and I'm not taking up for the coach, but look how many players that they took away from him.
yeah. And then injuries as well.
Injuries on top of it. I'm not
All
believe me,
right.
I'm not taking up for that coach because
Oh no. uh, all right. You have before we get out here, you have anything else?
no.
Like I said, don't forget, check out Easy Money, a sports betting show, 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Record last week was 30-10 overall. Our picks of
Yeah,
the day went 17-4 last week. Looked from what it looked like so far. I'm waiting on the last couple of games to finish up. Before so far, the picks for today are looking pretty good. Uh, so join us 3 p.m. Eastern live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. We're live with this show, Gonzo Sports Room, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11. Also, we have our GWR Pro Wrestling Podcast. New episodes drop on Sundays. Like I said, we had a big interview earlier today with Marcus Fine. Go check that out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You won't be disappointed. It was a great conversation. And like I said, we're going to be announcing some more stuff with him here pretty soon. Got a wrestling show coming up this Sunday. We'll be streaming live starting at 3 p.m. Eastern with Warrior Pro Wrestling. It should be a great show. They're going to have a lot of good young talent there. Black Market, they got a good feud going on, so that should be fun to watch.
I'm excited to see Brayton Lee. I know he's been on AEW Dark, and he was on Impact Wrestling before. He's going to be making his debut there. I've never seen him, so I'm excited to see him.
And then also join us this Friday. We will put. I'll have to get the exact time, but I think it's like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, the
Uh,
prelims.
for the Bare Nut BKFC. If you're a fan of combat sports or just fighting in general, hey, it's some it Bare
Oh,
Knuckles some crazy stuff, and you're going to see some quick knockouts. It's fun to watch. I wouldn't get in there and necessarily do it, but it's fun to watch.
yeah, I know they can. Just a watch along. We don't
Yeah,
show it, but I think you can get it for $4.99 or something like that.
yeah.
If people
Well,
can get
yeah,
and or they could probably find a stream. I know, but
yep,
it's really good. It's bare knuckle is. I'll be honest with you. The last 2 or 3 UFCs we've watched have been really good, but I honestly prefer the bare knuckle because they not too much time in between fights, and they go at it. They beat the
yeah.
crap out of the
Oh, yeah, they
males,
do.
males and the females.
Yep. So that'll be fun to watch. I'll put out a graphic about it, what time we'll be live and everything. Uh, But follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, that's where we post everything about our shows, all of our interviews, where we're going to be at. Uh, still have a few shirts left. If you're wanting to get a shirt, you better get them here soon because I only have a few left. Once I get rid of them, we'll get in some more, but I haven't decided. Probably go ahead and do another run of these ones because they went pretty good, and then maybe do a different one after that. I want to get it easy. I'd like to get a nice easy money shirt made as well, and a regular GSR shirt. I love my new background here
Yep, it's
on
awesome.
on this camera. You can't see the top, but when I use the other camera, you can see all of it. But no, we thank everybody for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And we'll be back with GSR Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. You can also find me on the ASAP Sports Network at 1 p.m. Eastern with the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. I thought we had a pretty good show today. Had 3 or 4 other guys on there,
Real
and
good. People need to check it out. It's
so
good.
it should be a good time again tomorrow. I know we're going to talk about is Steph Curry a top 10 player all time, and we'll probably talk about the rumors of Kyrie going to the Lakers. So that'll be some stuff we'll talk about tomorrow. But thanks for joining us.
Kyrie to the Lakers.
Yeah, the rumor is Kyrie might be going to the Lakers, go back with LeBron.
Huh.
So, hey, I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know if that would work either. It depends on if he'll play or not.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.
Dad. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.